Every night at midnight in a small coastal village, a bell rings, but no one is there to ring it. The church doors stay locked. The ropes don't move. Yet the echo rolls through the valley, slow, solemn, and clear. Locals say it's the sound of a promise that was never kept, a soul that refuses to rest. This is the story of the bell that rings by itself. The village and its bell. The story begins in the 1800s, in a quiet fishing town off the coast of Cornwall, England. The old church stood on a cliff overlooking the sea, a place where sailors, families would gather to watch the horizon, waiting for their loved ones to return. It rang for births, weddings, storms, and too often for funerals. But one winter night, the bell tolled long after the church had closed, and no one knew why. The tragedy at sea. In December 1863, a fierce storm hit the coast. A fishing vessel called the Morning Star disappeared, carrying 8 men, including the church bellkeeper's son, William. For 3 days, the village searched. On the 4th night, the bell began to ring by itself. People rushed to the church, thinking the men had returned, but the ropes hung still. The tower was empty, and the sound kept ringing through the fog. The next morning, wreckage from the Morning Star washed ashore. All 8 men were gone. The curse and the promise, according to legend. Before William left, his father, Thomas, had promised to ring the bell when he saw the ship returning home. But he never got the chance. Racked with guilt, he climbed the bell tower one night and prayed that the bell would ring on its own so his son would never return to silence. The skeptics arrive in the 1920s. Researchers tried to debunk the mystery. They inspected the bell, checked for loose beams, even placed guards in the tower through the night. Nothing happened, and until the stroke of midnight, the sound filled the air again, low and heavy, vibrating through the floor. The guards saw no movement. The ropes didn't sway. The bell's clapper stayed still, yet the sound was unmistakable. They fled before dawn. Thomas died a few years later. And since then, villagers swear they still hear the bell whenever the sea grows restless. On the anniversary of the storm, the scientific theory's modern experts claim there could be natural explanations. Some believe the sound comes from subsonic vibrations caused by ocean waves striking the cliffs below. Others suggest the bell's metal resonates with wind pressure or temperature shifts, producing ghostly tones that echo through the stone walls. But no one can explain why it only happens on the same few nights each year, or why it always begins exactly at midnight. The paranormal accounts. Over the decades, travelers, historians, and ghost hunters have all visited the church to witness the phenomenon. A priest in 1977 claimed to see a faint blue glow around the bell moments before it rang. A tourist once captured an EVP, a whispering voice saying, "Home again." And an old woman who lived near the cliff said she would hear the bell right before a storm, as if it were warning the living that the sea hungered once more. The preservation of the bell. Today, the church is abandoned, its doors chained to keep thrill seekers away. Yet locals still gather outside on stormy anniversaries, listening for that familiar toll. Some bring candles, others bring flowers for the lost sailors. And when the bell finally rings, they fall silent. Because in that moment, it feels like the past is calling them home. Outro, reflection, and closing message. The bell still hangs there, untouched, rusting with time, but alive with memory. Was it a trick of wind and sound? Or a father's promise echoing through eternity? No one knows. But as the tide rises and the fog rolls in, the people of that small village wait for midnight, for the voice of the sea, and the bell that rings by itself. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more haunting mysteries from around the world.